Before World War II, France held a very important position in the aviation industry, with many famous aviation designers developing in France. Under this influence, France's aviation technology has developed its own style, and its military aircraft also appeared extraordinary, showing the ambition to stand alone and lead the world. Leaving aside the influence of the overall environment, today, let's take a look at a fighter plane designed by France before World War II to see how unique it is. The SE.100 twin-seat twin-engine fighter was designed in 1937 and made its first flight in 1939. It was planned to begin mass production in the second half of 1940, even to be deployed in the possible outbreak of a major war. The aircraft adopted a full metal structure with a mid-wing layout and appeared very chubby and short, but it was just severely hunchbacked. The two engine compartments were distributed on both wings, and to balance the torque, the propellers driven by the two engines rotated in different directions. The tailplane was positioned below the main wing, with the vertical tail placed at the top of the tailplane. The entire fuselage had a bulge at the back, with the cockpit positioned at the front of the hump, and a position for another crew member at the back. Similar to some light bombers during World War II, the rear crew member was mainly responsible for operating the machine guns to attack enemies from behind. It's unclear why the designer chose to give the fighter plane this kind of structure, and whether the rear crew member would feel dizzy when the fighter plane was maneuvering at high speeds. Despite its unattractive appearance, the weapon configuration of the aircraft was definitely formidable. The first prototype was equipped with three 20mm machine guns on the nose, while the rear crew member operated another machine gun. With the second prototype, the front machine guns increased to 4, and the self-defense machine guns became 2. Leaving aside its combat performance, just the 4 20mm machine guns on the nose made it competitive among all the fighter planes during World War II. Of course, there was also the idea of installing 6 machine guns on the nose and adding 2 extra machine guns on the underside of the aircraft, possibly considering the need for ground attacks. The aircraft's engines used various models, including the Pratt & Whitney R1830 Twin Wasp engine, with the production model being the Gnome Roan 14N20 14-cylinder air-cooled radial piston engine, with a single output of 1081 horsepower. Unlike most other aircraft models at the time, the aircraft used a rare tricycle landing gear, with the front landing gear retracting under the nose, and the 2 rear landing gears positioned very uniquely under the twin vertical tails, causing concerns about whether the tailplane could withstand the impact and not break. After testing, the SE.100 met the standards of the French Air Force, and its overall combat capabilities exceeded the existing fighter aircraft of the French military. However, like many other promising projects under development in France at the time, the outbreak of the Battle of France meant that this aircraft lost the opportunity to enter service. Even if it could be mass-produced, the Air Force would need time to train pilots and ground personnel, as well as to wait for the factories to produce enough aircraft. However, the French were most lacking in time, and it was destined that the SE.100 would have no chance to participate in WWII. The aircraft weighed 7,500 kilograms, was 11.8 meters long, had a wingspan of 15.7 meters, a height of 4.28 meters, and had a 2-person crew. Its maximum flight speed was 580 kilometers per hour, cruising speed was 499 kilometers per hour, maximum altitude was 6,500 meters, and maximum range was 1,300 kilometers.